right, hello everybody. Let me introduce myself, Trina Gold, and I am the head creative honcho at Big Water Content Innovation. I started in 2000 with the first nonlinear editing systems, and digital video was just coming to play then. And I had one of the few systems, Final Cut Pro Studio. I had the beta programs, and that is how I learned. There was no teaching, there were no schools. It was learn as you go, and there were no chat rooms, which is a great improvement in technology, is getting information from other people that are having the same problem as you, and you don't feel like such a dummy. So in 2010, I had two kids that were incredible skiers and were competing nationwide and in big mountain skiing. And I ended up bringing my cameras to the mountain, which could have been thought of as a mistake, but everyone there wanted video. And I ended up spending days afterwards putting out videos for my friends for free. And my kids tapped me on the shoulder and they said, hey, Mom, there's this thing called YouTube. I'm like, what's this YouTube? And they showed me, and immediately I understood all digital video going to all digital platforms and delivery. And I started Big Water Event Media, and that was a 10-year journey, 2,400 videos, mainly of kids skiing. And it taught me so much about YouTube and social media and platforms and what it takes to get a handle onto a platform and kind of get a step in and a foot on there. And then in 2015, I took Big Water Studios and I merged it, or morphed it into Big Water CI, which is content innovation. I was running into problems that people just saw me as a videographer. And I am so much more than that because I had to be. I'm a very high functioning creative. But what I mean by that is I'm a very creative person. I love pretty pictures. I like making pretty things, but I also have a very technical mind, and to create art without a purpose or a function bothered me. So I took my video into the social media advertising world, and it has been a blast. And that's what I do. Okay, so today you guys are all here about video. So why video? Well, we've watched all our feeds go from static photographs and just static and text and move into the video realm. And it's because video, we put across information so much faster through video. Let's see, videos get 1,200% more shares than text and images combined. Video really kind of rules in the social media and the streams. And in the streams, video makes you stop. So if you want to engage with your clients, you can use video, and it pretty basically stops the feed. People will stop to watch it. And video drives sales. You know, the numbers are 87 to 97% better when you use video on your websites or your social media. And those are not small numbers. Those are huge numbers. So yeah, it's kind of hard to go against that. And then videos are memorable and improve brand recall. 95% of a video's message gets taken in by humans compared to 10%, which I think that's a little low. Personally, I think I get a lot from reading. But my kids, wow, I remember watching them back in grade school find photos on their phone, and I realized that they spoke a different language than I did. They spoke a visual language, and it'll be, yeah, it's quite something to see how fast they can move through data and content. So the big what for? So I kind of broke it down to 3 types of video that you'll use in your social feeds. Branding, which is, you know, the why, talking about your business, talking about you, talking about your community service, about your story, who you are, why you do what you do. It's that gentle touch that says, hey, I'm a good guy, I'm a good person, you want to do business with me. And then sales, which is, you know, state the problem, then give the solution, and then ask for an action. Sales is for buying, selling, if you want to do a sign up, promotions, or timely purchases. But it's good to have a good combination of both branding, sales, and information, but they are all three. They will not, each one has a different purpose. And then information is the explainer videos, the process videos, how you do what you do and what to expect, leading a client through the process of a purchase, or teaching them how to use the new camera that they got. Let's see. All right, so with every video, it really comes down to what do you want to say? This is so important. You know, how does your garden grow? Are your flowers blooming? Send flowers and brighten somebody's day. You really have to have a good handle on your message, and that's where you begin, is what do you want to say? And then next, who do you want to say it to? Lulu knows the value of a great garden. Lulu is 8. Lulu likes chicken, long walks, and her friends are Roscoe and Bodie. Bodie likes anything wet and is a foodie. Roscoe's quiet and likes a good chase. Lulu is a dog. So all of these things, if you know what you're going to say and you know who you're going to say it to, that will give you the platform. And I kind of like this. I took this over the weekend in Point Reyes. You know, the platform is kind of like a wing and a prayer. It actually isn't. It's very technical. The algorithms know what they're doing. These systems are built, and they're built well. And they are always morphing. They are always moving, because we are always learning. You know, it's a sliding, it's a slippery slope and sliding all the time, but you have to stay up on it. And so if you know what you need to say, who you need to say it to, will tell you how you need to say it and what platform you need to be on. Let's see. I thought I'd take a break. I'm just going to give us a little.
Big Water video content can get your business seen and heard. Not convinced? How does all this work? I'll give you 3 reasons why. Number 1, it's not that internet thing anymore. And we've been at it for a decade. Facebook has 2.7 billion monthly users with ages from 13 to 55. Google's YouTube, 1.8 billion users. And website commerce, well, that's booming too. Number 2, social media is more than just mindless entertainment. This is where we get our information. This is where we are doing our business. This is where we seek community. Number 3, it's trackable. We can tell you who saw your post, what they watched or clicked, when they enjoyed your video, where they connected, and how they clicked, scrolled, and downloaded. Does your current marketing plan and advertising do that? Do you know where your ad dollars are going? Behind all our videos, here's real data going on. It may look like we're just playing around, but we're not. There are real numbers here that guide our creative decisions, so we can get you to the surface. Big Water, content innovation.
There we go, my shameless plug. Hope you guys didn't mind. But that was you know, that was an information and a sales video, but it was mostly information, kind of who I am, what I'm about, and why you need what I do. And that video, if you noticed, was in a 4:5 ratio, which brings me to, let's see, choosing the platform. These are the 4 main big players. There's lots of little platforms, and if you have a small niche that you fit into one, by all means, go off of these main platforms and use the platform that works best for you. The thing is you need to find a platform that will connect you to the people who want and need your services, and that's the bottom line. So YouTube is one. I use YouTube as my storage device. But YouTube is also married to Google. So it helps my Google AdWords. When I was doing the ski videos and had a few thousand videos going through my system, I didn't need Google AdWords. I had video, and I always hit the top of the streams, and I always hit the top of the searches. Now I have to work a little harder at it because I don't quite put out a few hundred videos in a week. I'm more like 2 to 4. LinkedIn is great for business to business in the professional realm. I do a lot of advertising on LinkedIn. And Facebook and Instagram, they're married. They're very similar, yet very different. It comes down to what do you want to say and who do you want to talk to? And what do you want them to do? Facebook is a much easier sales tool. Instagram is more of a branding tool. It's harder to direct people off of Instagram into your website or into a sale. All right, let me pull my notes up. So now we're kind of getting to video production. Now you know what you want to say and you know who you want to say it to. So your next step is a script or a storyboard. I prefer having something in writing no matter what. It makes a world of difference in video production and having a script and having an idea of where you want to go. Because something may happen, something may come up, and all of a sudden you realize that you really need to pivot and take time for that other shot because it will fit into the script. Too many times running without a script, you really want a certain shot and you found out that it was key to your story, it was key to your message, and you no longer have it. Now you have to get all of your gear and all of your equipment and go back out and get it. The next one is capture. And in capturing, there's two main choices, location or studio. On location, it's really hard to control audio and sound and light. It's not a controlled environment. Yes, it can be fun and it can be dangerous, shall we say, but it is difficult. These days with the new cell phones, I highly recommend, I've never said this before, but now with the new iPhones, they really do compete. With a good rig, with a good microphone and a nice selfie stick and a lot of practice, I'm actually having a lot of my clients now capture their own, and then I edit them and put the finishing touches on them. And then there's also studio, which is where you can control the lighting, you can control the audio. The edit, the other window on my computer with Carmen there, I shot that yesterday in that red chair. And then I can control the lighting. I see I need to work on my coloring a little bit better. Carmen, you're looking a little washed out, so I'll work on that. And then I can add a background like we do here in Zoom. With editing, it's finding a tone, finding a feel. Music and audio will make a big difference on the tone. Well, let's start here. Color, audio, as far as music, and the type of editing will make a big difference on a finished piece. You can have short, choppy edits, which will make it fast and furious, or you can have those long, slow shots, especially the drone shots, which give it that wide expanse. There's so much to be done in editing, but you do want to pick your tone and stick to it. Picking too many things going on ends up being a muddied composition, and you kind of lose all that time and energy you spent in capture and script. Let's see, and then you have choices of what to use as motion graphics, like how about your titling? The video I just showed you was almost completely motion graphics, with this text come flying in and the other videos kind of spinning around. I have a lot of fun with motion graphics. That's my background. That's where I come from. And then in your editing, you also have to choose your titling and your intros and your outgoes. It's changing rapidly. Before, your intros were rather long and they introduced you coming in. Nowadays, with social media, a lot of videos start with people talking and then a short branded intro that pretty basically announces who the brand is. And then you continue with the video and then a long outgo, which gives people the control as to clicking to where you want them to go next. Your outgo is really important. It gives people the call to action, how to reach you, how to contact you, and what you want them to do next. Always put a call to action on that outgo. Okay. And I don't know how to look at questions, so I'll wait till the end. We're pretty close. So when it comes to videos these days, you don't just create a video and deliver this video. And I wrote an article about ratios. This is 16:9. This is 9:16. This is 4:5. And this is square, 1-to-1 ratio. And when I deliver videos, I no longer deliver in one format. I deliver, well, it depends on what platform we're going to be on. So in my typical, I'll just give you what I do when I have to post, is the first thing I do is I'll take my 16:9 version and post it on YouTube, complete with a 16:9 thumbnail. And those thumbnails have size requirements. I think they're 720 by 1280. I don't do things very well with memory. I have everything on sheets and Excel sheets. So the first thing I do is I post it to YouTube, and this is my storage unit. This is so I can grab that video at a moment's notice. But I don't necessarily post with links. That depends on the platform too. Facebook does not like it. LinkedIn will allow you to use a link from YouTube, and they haven't started docking you for it yet. I'm still waiting for that. So 6 months ago, it was hard to upload a video on LinkedIn, and so therefore you had to use a YouTube link. So my first one goes on YouTube. My next set, I decide what I'm going to be putting on Facebook and Instagram. I used a lot of square video for quite a while. That was really fun, and I got great play and great numbers from it. I think because of the uniqueness. Algorithms changed. I'll use a 16:9, a landscape, if the video needs it. And we've had a few house videos and listing videos that really needed the landscape format that didn't quite work well on the vertical format. But lately, the majority of my posts and the majority of my ads are in the 4:5 format. And that is because it goes across Instagram and Facebook. The majority of my viewers are on mobile and desktop feed on Facebook. And I have a few on Instagram. It's growing. It's actually been a growing number in the last 3 to 4 months. But the 4:5 format goes across, it does Facebook newsfeed on both mobile and on desktop. It does Instagram feed. It does Instagram and Facebook stories too, which it's hard to get into that without conforming completely to an Instagram story format, which is this one. And designing video for a 9:16 format has been a challenge. It really lends itself to an awful lot of text. We're used to seeing the world in our beautiful landscape. And it's interesting designing for this. Instagram stories and Facebook stories in my ad runs, they get a lot of views, so I think they're really good for branding, but I still don't have a lot of return on them. It's hard for me to get them to pay off. other than branding and views. So it's one of those things, if you have something fun and happening in your world, then by all means run some stories. And then this is kind of where my world comes in. This is the technical aspect. This is where I spend a lot of time with the Facebook numbers on the left of your screen and the Google numbers on the right of your screen. I'm always watching how my videos perform. You can go in depth into these and find out, oh, like the majority of my ads right now get viewed from 8 to 9 in the morning, from 11 to noon in the afternoon, and from 6 to 8:30 at night. And the numbers are substantially different from the rest of the day. So I am reaching the people that I want. I am reaching people, business owners who are working and who are just, you know, just sit down for lunch and then after dinner have a chance to cruise the web, shall we say. All right, so this is, oh, there we go. There's NCET. So this was the event push that I just put out. I got 13,000 views on the one that I ran for a week. So we did pretty good with that, Dave. And this screen, you can go into depth. There's probably about 50 or 100 other screens that you can look at. You can look at all kinds of information. This is what social media is all about. This is the trackability. And whatever kind of information you want to know, you can find here. And you can also get very lost in that rabbit hole. I might get lost for a day trying to solve an ad set problem. And also, I think a lot of people who, if you're not into the Facebook ads, you don't realize that Facebook socially is completely different than Facebook ads. If you're in a special category or you use the wrong words, earlier in COVID, I put a cute little video about washing your hands and I've used the word COVID-19. It shut me and 5 of my accounts down for 3 days because I used the word COVID. So Facebook has a very tight leash on us, managers and advertisers. It's not, we don't get free reign to run all kinds of ads saying anything. We have to be really careful on what we say, how we say it, and how we line up the ads. And I think this is an old one from Google. Yeah, I was watching a series of videos and discovered that a client of mine had linked their videos to my YouTube and not to their own YouTube. Yeah, so it was kind of, no, you need to link it to yours so that you get the hits. I'm getting all the benefits from your video. Thank you. All right. So coming down to, you know, a basic ad campaign, you know, what do you want to say and who do you want to say it to? Oh, that's right, in scripts, I do want to go over that. Sorry, I need to back up. I did forget one important point. People get caught up on how long a video should be. In the old days, you had 30 seconds, 1 minute, and 22 minutes. Those are your options. That's what broadcast demanded of you. Nowadays, it's pretty basically how long you can hold attention and what it is you need to say and who you need to say it to and how it lines up. And that is a science in its own. I'm a big YouTube consumer, so I do a lot of learning on YouTube, and I personally like 5-minute videos that give me a technical skill and with a playlist that I can see in order to continue my learning or take a break and then come back to it later. There's a whole lot of, there's a lot you can do. Yeah. It's a whole other world. Each client, each type of video and each type of platform all have their own rules. And it's just a matter of sitting down and figuring out each platform and how it will work for you best. Oh, I thought I had one already. Another shameless plug. Oh, and I had so much fun with gifts this year. They're a fun little thing because you can email them to people, and they're just fun little I don't know, reminders or touches. Okay, and then I'm going to skip that. Oh, one more. And this was a video that I did that was for Facebook stories, so that when you swipe to the next video, and it took them through a journey to a final, to the website. No, to an instant experience on Facebook. All right. So I hope I didn't talk too fast, but I wanted to give a chance for people to ask questions. And I'm not sure how to get the chat back. All right. I don't know how to get the chat. I'm gonna stop
At the bottom
sharing.
of your screen.
There we go. When I stopped sharing it, it brought it back to me. So did I talk way too fast?
No, you did not. You did great.
Oh, good. Any questions from anyone? Katie, do I have to unmute you? I think you have to unmute yourself. Here we go. Oof, I did it, sorry.
It was good. Yeah, I figured you're a good person to ask. I've noticed on social media lately, people post a lot of 3D pictures. How do you incorporate that?
I've just broken into that, and I actually don't have my first one. So there are two. So what I've learned so far, that there are two types. There's the 3D video with the cameras that kind of capture the entire space, and then there's the like the Matador interior, like the 3D model. So you see that with a lot of homes, a lot of real estate, where they're doing the 3D model, so you can bring that 3D model up and kind of move it around and look at it. And then the virtual tours are 3D video. And that is a fun world. I'm just now going into it.
So those are special camera equipment. I know that. But
yeah, where's mine?
I think the 3D that I'm seeing a lot from everyday people is an app of some sort that they're using.
Well, the new iPhones have cameras on either side. Let me get one. I don't have a new iPhone, not yet. I am recommending to my clients to get one. But a 3D camera has a lens on either side. This is a GoPro version. Oh. And there's one, and there's one, and the new iPhones shoot with they have cameras on both ends of the on both sides of the phone, and they do have capabilities of creating a virtual world. Virtual is different than 3D. The 3D is the Matadors, and they're actually creating a 3D model. And then the virtual is a camera on either end, and it's capturing 360 or 180 degrees or 360 degrees. There's a little bit of a gap, but with technology, the apps meld them together. But what's fun and what really draws me into it finally is that not only can I put somebody into a 3D space, I can now add graphics. So I can have a realtor walking through a house and point over to the side and go, well, and have graphics come up with, you know, state-of-the-art appliances, you know, best kitchen, granite, kind of the whole list of everything a kitchen may offer. And it really adds a whole nother world. It's interesting shooting.
Thank you.
Oh, let's see. Oh, so there's one about video editing software. I am a Apple girl, have been from the very beginning. And it's because of speed. I don't do the long edits. I don't do the long stories. I'm not a cinematographer. I create video advertisements. They're very fast, very spontaneous. I shot the vigil, it wasn't a protest, in Truckee last night, and the video went up at 10 p.m. last night. That is kind of a workflow that I've been using for a long time. I'm very fast, and Final Cut is very fast. There's some new players, DaVinci Resolve, which the free editing software is actually pretty close to Final Cut. You don't have to purchase this software, and it's because it's a new company and they want people to get up to paces on it, and it's good. The coloring in DaVinci Resolve is some of the best in the market. Let's see, I think I answered that. 69 is the most common format, and that's what most cameras will shoot at. 4.5 is old school CRT. No, 4.5 is not old school. Standard, what was standard? I can't remember what SD was. 4.5 is a little more elongated, and it is made for cell phone usage. Pretty basically, here's your phone, and it keeps going on every time I pick it up. And 4.5 allows for text on top and bottom, and it pretty basically lays out like this. I don't know where it came from. I always felt that it was Facebook who made up that one. Not sure. And for a post on COVID-19 promo, be very careful on using the word COVID-19. I think they have released it, but quite frankly, when you use the word COVID-19, it flags Facebook, and you have to go through a review process. And that can be very fast, very slow, and very frustrating. It's best to avoid it, so speak around it. And then, oh, wow, cool. I didn't know that about the photo in portrait mode on the newer iPhones. Neat. Oh man, I might have to get one today. I really want one. And then, anybody else? Oh, for those of you who aren't Apple users, I don't know. Final Cut you can use in with Windows, but DaVinci I think is going to be, it's not married to either. So you might want to look at that, and it's free. There's a paid version, but unless you're into advanced editing, you don't need it. The free version works pretty good. And then I don't have to play with that 3D photo thing with Facebook. Oh yeah, no, I realized that you guys couldn't see me when I was showing formats. 16:9 or 16:9, 9:16, 4.5, and square is pretty basically how they line up. Yeah, and you can get Premiere. I've used Premiere for, they had a better analog to digital for quite a while. And I've just, Final Cut went to a magnetic timeline, and I stopped losing audio sync, and that sold me on Final Cut. That was when I left Premiere and just stuck with Final Cut. DaVinci Resolve has taken, so in editing you would line up your tracks, and that was nonlinear editing for quite a while, and then Final Cut broke from that in Final Cut 10 and went to magnetic timelines. And then now DaVinci Resolve is probably rewriting the book. I'm watching them closely. I just don't want to have to learn a new system right at the moment. But I'm watching them closely because they're writing for the new computers. Yeah, and I have been a member of Adobe since I think 1990. You know, I purchased all their programs, and the moment they went to subscribe, I've been with them the whole time. Yeah, I use Photoshop and Illustrator for my graphics. But there's some competitors now. Pixel Pro actually can remove the background on a photograph faster than anything, and it's a $40 app, one-time purchase. Oh, and so music. I didn't talk about music. I use Envato. It's a subscription service. It really has enough music for what I need. If I was to do a really high-end indie film or something, there are other, Sony has one, and a few other platforms are out there that really have incredible, beautiful music. But for me, I'm just doing commercials. And there's a huge list for at Envato, and it has not only music, but graphics and themes and all kinds of little odds and little pieces that I find on a regular basis. I probably download daily from Envato, and I think it's like $15 a month. It does not have the high-end photos like Adobe and, what are the other ones? But I have a tendency, if I need a high-end photo, I will go out and capture it. I have that ability. You know, I would look into Envato or Audio Jungle for background music. You can buy them singularly, like a piece of background music could be $15. You can use them. The licenses are pretty open. Like I would purchase for $15 the opening sequence of my edit videos for skiing. And I would end up putting out 500 to 600 videos with that music. And they were very open with their licensing on that, because it was an ident. It was the intro to videos. And so I got to use it over and over and over again without any problems. I would go to my LinkedIn page and check out the articles. I did one on ratio, and quite a few. And each one kind of breaks down what I talked about today. And I also have a PDF, 5 Common Pitfalls. I will give that to you, Dave, and offer that to people.
Great. Well, thanks, everyone. And next week, we have Marie Gibson talking about taking QuickBooks to a work-at-home environment. And it's incredibly complicated. So if you are interested in that topic, that'll be next Wednesday at 3 p.m.